Lane? Lane? Can you bring me the cigarette case? Mr. Worthing down here, please. Thank you, sir.
I had my cigarette case this entire time. Wish to goodness you would have told me this sooner. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward for it.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I'm to be more than usually hard up.
There's no good offering for a large reward, now that the thing is found.
I think that is rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, no matter, for now that I look in the inscription inside, I find that the thing isn't yours after all.
What do you mean? Of course it's mine. You have seen me with it hundreds of times, and you have no right whatsoever to read what's written inside. It's a very ungentlemanly thing to read one's private cigarette case.
Oh, it is absurd. You have a hard and fast rule about what one should read and what one shouldn't. More than half of modern culture depends on what one shouldn't read.
I'm well aware of the fact, and I don't propose we discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one should discuss in private. I simply want it back.
Yes, but this isn't your cigarette case. This cigarette case is a present from someone by the name of Cecily, and you said you didn't know anyone of that name.
Well, if you must know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming lady she is too. Lives in Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back.
But why does she call herself Little Cecily if she's your aunt and lives in Tunbridge Wells? From Little Cecily, with her fondest love.
My dear fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall. Some aunts are not tall. You seem to think every aunt should be exactly like your aunt. That is absurd. For heaven's sake, Algie, give it back!
Yes, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From Little Cecily, with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. There is no objection I admit to an aunt being a small aunt, but why an aunt? No matter what size she may be, should call her own nephew her uncle. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You've always told me it was Ernest. I have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You look as if your name was Ernest. You're the most Ernest-looking person I ever saw in my life. It is perfectly absurd you saying your name isn't Ernest. It's on your cards. Here is one of them. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany. I'll keep this as proof that your name is Ernest if you ever attempt to deny it to me, or to Gwendolyn, or to anyone else.
Well, my name is Ernest. In town, and Jack in the country. And that cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your aunt. Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your small aunt Cecily, who lives in Tunbridge Wells, calls you her dear uncle. Come on, boy. You're much better have the thing out at once.
You talk as if you're a dentist. It's very vulgar to talk as a dentist when one isn't. It produces a false impression.
Well, that is exactly what dentists do. Now go on. But that is exactly what dentists do. Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
I'm not sure whether you'll be able to understand my real motives. You're hardly serious enough. When one is placed in a position of guardian, one must adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It's one's duty to do so, and its high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much one's health or one's happiness. To be able to get up in town, I've always pretended to have the younger brother of the name Ernest, who lives in Albany and gets in the most dreadful of scrapes. That, my dear boy, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is really pure and never simple. Modern life would be tedious if it were either, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
That wouldn't all be a bad thing.
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear fellow. Don't try it. Leave that to the people who haven't been at university. Now, besides, now that I know you are a confirmed and secret Bunburyist, I naturally want to talk to you about Bunbury. I want to tell you the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. Indeed, I think I'm going to get rid of my brother in any case. Cecily's become a little too fond of him. It's a rather bore. So I'm going to get rid of him. And I strongly advise you do the same with Mr. Your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury, and if you ever get married, which seems to be extremely problematic, you'll be very glad to know Bunbury. A man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
That is nonsense. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. That's the end of it, okay? Indeed, I think I'll do it. Yes.
Where is that place? In the country, by the way?
That has nothing to you, dear boy. You will not be invited. I may tell you candidly that she is not in Shropshire.
I suspect that, my dear fellow, I have bunburyed all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now, do you want your cigarette case?
Please.
Yes, but you must produce an explanation to inform me why you were Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
My explanation is highly not improbable. In fact, it's fairly ordinary. Oh, Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me as a child, made me in his will guardian to Miss Cicely Cardew. Cicely, who addressed me as an uncle out of modest respect, that you possibly cannot appreciate, lives in my place in the country.
Yes. And I may mention that I've bunburyed all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country? I may mention that I've bunburyed all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear fellow, you're hardly serious enough. When one is placed in position of guardian, one must adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It's one's duty to do so, and its high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much one's health or one's happiness. To be able to get up in town and always pretend to have the younger brother of the name Ernest, who gets in the most trivial of scrapes. That's the whole truth, pure and simple.
So you're bunburyist?
You know the two thing? That's cool.
So, you're a bunburyist. But you haven't invited me for tea yet. It is very foolish of you not to send invitations. I have really been engaged with Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
You'd much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
I haven't the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. In the first place, I dine there on Monday. And once a week is perfectly enough to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, I'm treated as a member of the family, and either sent down with no woman or 2. In the first place, I know perfectly well whom she'll place me next to tonight. She'll place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her own husband across the dinner table. It is not very pleasant. Indeed, it is not even decent. And the amount of women who flirt with their own husbands in London is perfectly scandalous. It is clean linen and blood. Now I know you are a confirmed and secret bunburyist. I naturally want to talk to you about Bunbury. I want to tell you the rules.
I'm not a bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Indeed, I think I'll do it in any case. Cicely's become a little too fond of him, so I'm going to get rid of him. And I strongly advise you the same with Mr. Your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury, and if you ever get married, which seems to be extremely problematic, you'll be very glad to know Bunbury. A man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
That is nonsense. If Gwendolyn accepts me, and she's the only one I ever can choose to marry, I certainly wouldn't want to know Bunbury.
Then your wife will. You don't seem to realise that in married life, 3 is a company, and 2 is none.
That, my dear fellow, is the theory of the correct French drama has been propounding for the last 50 years.
And that the happy English home is proven half the time.
For heaven's sake, don't be cynical. It's perfectly easy to be cynical.
It isn't easy to beat anything nowadays. There's so much beastly competition about. Ah, that must be Aunt Augusta. Now, if I get her out of the way for 10 minutes so that you may have the opportunity of proposing to Gwendolyn, may I dine with you at Willis's tonight?
I suppose so, if you want to.
Yes, but you must be serious about it. I hate people who are not serious about meals. It is so shallow of them.